Hi, this is Neil Walters of neilsvideos.com. Today I want to show you what happens when your town totally crashes and you run out of city cash. So in the upper left corner here, you see I have $3,000 of city cash. This is blinking, warning that I'm about to go under. And boom, let's see, well, as soon as I think I got 6 more seconds roughly, it should just die and all the workers are going to go back to their houses. Yeah, see, they're all going home now. So they're not going to work unless you pay them. So they went on strike, basically. So see, now all the workers have gone. Now, this happened to me during the night when I thought I had my town set up correctly. And it's never a pleasurable thing to see because if it happens, for example, at 2 a.m., then, and you don't wake up and check your game, say, for example, till 7 a.m., that means you lost 5 hours of making wages during the middle of the night. And probably if you're experienced, the main thing that will cause this to happen is not having your auto cell set up correctly. Now, if you're a beginner, you have to build your refinery and all that kind of stuff because you're going to run out of gas, right? So we've talked about that in videos a long time ago. So what happens if your city does crash? Well, the first thing that comes to mind, actually, this is the second best option, is sell something. Like if I sell my nuclear power plant here, I'm not going to do it yet. Click on that one. That's my least important one. And you can hit remove, and you see I'll get $2,500,000. So that's a pretty good chunk of change. That'll get me running again until I get things going. But you don't want to, because you're going to have to rebuild it if you need it anyway. I could put a power plant back there. But anyway, that's not what we want to do. So the first thing you want to do is look over here and check how everything's balanced out. So one thing I see here is I've got 80 lumber. Now that's an even number, of course, which means I have 4 lumber yards that are all full of 20 lumbers each, right? And the one thing that will cause in your game is if you ever need to build something and you need, for example, 5 wood, the wood are not going to be available if your lumber yards are full of lumber. So that means you might need to put an auto cell on your lumber if it gets over, say, 60 or something like that. The next one down here, this is, I think, my big issue that I had during the night. This one right here, 100, and that's probably limestone. It could be silica. Those icons are kind of small for me. And just a couple tricks. You can do the Control Plus here, and you can make them a little bigger. But the problem with that is then they run off the screen eventually. See, now all of a sudden you can only see the top 10 items, but now it's pretty easy to see what they are. But then you still have to memorize what these things are. And in my mind, silica and limestone look a lot alike. So what I usually do then is I click this, I actually go to the auto cell, and it'll tell you what your products are. So like right here, there's 100 of that, and that's silica. And here's 36, which is limestone. So obviously I need to sell my silica. Or yeah, both maybe. I really don't need 36 limestone. That's probably too many as well. So right here on my silica, I want to change this to like, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and change limestone as well. I don't need, I don't think I ever need really more than even 10 or 12 of those. So the other thing is you got to remember, you don't want your warehouses filling up with stuff that you don't need, because then your warehouses might fill up totally. And there's some, like you might make a bicycle, for instance, and they might throw it away because your warehouses were full of things like limestone. So just look at my warehouses here. See, that one's red, that one's red. I can't remember where all my warehouses are. There's one right there. They got those little red exclamation points above it. So I think all my warehouses are full as well. So that's an issue. So now the auto cell looks like it's not going to run, maybe because I'm not paying the wages. So let's see if I can just sell it manually. There's my Express Depot. I'm going to go sell and click that. The first time you open this, it always takes a little extra time. Oh my gosh, looks like I'm out of gas as well. So I guess when my city crashed, I ran out of gasoline. So if you look over here, yeah, I guess it was trying to sell too much stuff, and so I'm out of gas. So ideally, I would just be able to sell the limestone, and then I think I could get my city running again. But since I don't have gas to sell it, that's a bad problem. So now I am going to have to get some temporary city cash. Now, in the future, they talked about this idea of having gyms where you pay, for example, whatever the numbers are going to be. I have no idea. Like you pay 100 of TownStar coins and they give you like 10,000 or 20,000 cash or something like that. That would be the other way to solve this problem, maybe in the future. But given the world we have today, I do have to sell something of value in order to get my gas going. So now you can kind of play the calculations game. Like, everything I'm running right now is costing me $14,000 a minute. So selling the limestone, let's look at the price on that. It's not going to make a lot of money, but it might give me enough cash to last a few minutes. So their limestone sells for $10,000, and I can sell like 8 or 9 of them. So that'll give me $90,000. But right now, again, that's only going to last me like 5 minutes, because you can see my city is currently eating $14,000 a minute. So what else can I sell that won't kill me? Again, the nuclear plant comes to mind. I could temporarily get rid of something like this. That's only 125,000 though, but then I have to rebuild it later. 125,000, that's still only like 5 minutes. So now I guess I'm questioning, like, when's the next time I'm going to sell bicycles? So you look at the products that you've been selling and like, how long is it before your next sell? Because if I sell 10 bicycles, that'll give me 400,000, right, of city cash. And it's going to take me probably, I think I'm only building 2 bicycles like an hour. So that's not going to work. Now, this is kind of when I wish I would have kept my candy cane stores just as an emergency cash generator as well. Like that extra pottery. I think I have like an extra pottery house. I think I have an extra sand mine that I could get rid of. I can get rid of these mines, but those are only going to give me like 1 minute each. So I might actually have to go back to selling some wool or something easy just to get some money flowing in here. I'm in really bad shape, actually. That's why I thought this would make an interesting video. Let's start with this guy. I have 3 of the glass factories, and that's probably one of the least things I need right now. 2 of those would probably be good. So now we're hoping the refinery makes the gas pretty darn quick. As soon as it does, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn off auto sell. The reason why is I don't want it to sell something other than lime silica. I want to manually sell silica right now, because that's what's filling up all my warehouses as well. So I'm waiting on 1 gas can to come over here. Oh, and that's not a good problem either. If you're full of petroleum, so I can't, there, 1 went down. Okay, that's good. Actually, I'm going to stop this petroleum guy here. That's another big issue. So on your auto sell, I usually have petroleum turned on too. Maybe I don't have that turned on. So here I want to say, like, if I get over, I don't think I turned that on because it was all pretty balanced the other day. So if I get 35 petroleum, then I want to sell 10 of them, bring my gas in my storage tank back down to 25, right? We don't have auto sell on right now. So right now I'd manually turn that off. That means that gas can, oh, see, I ran out of money. I'm out of money again. Not good. So I'm going to get rid of a pottery house. It's kind of funny, actually. That'll give me 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes on the clock. There, you made a gas. Okay, so now I'm going to sell silica. That'll give me $10,000, which will just barely give me another minute. I have 2 trucks, so I could sell silica on each truck. That'll keep me alive just again for, oh, I don't have any other gas now. I got to wait on the next gas can. I am in terrible shape, right? Now I have room for the gas over here. Here comes the gas. Okay, it's coming. Okay, so we'll go to this truck here. We'll sell 10 more of those. And I'm still kind of in a losing situation. Oh, so I got 1 sale in. That gave me 10 grand, but now I need 14 grand just to run 1 minute of the game. and the other Silica is on the way. That'll give me 20 grand, and then I'll be able to play for 1 minute. Maybe it'll go maybe a minute and 15, 20 seconds, and then my game will stop again. So I'm going to have to sell something of a little more value, like in the hundreds of that. Even, I think I'm just going to have to go for this nuke. Obviously, my NFTs don't have any value. These little things like lumber yards are only 5,000. Power plant, what's that worth? 62,000. That's only 3 or 4 minutes. I think it's going to have to be the nuke. If I sold half of my mines, what would that cost me? 7,500 per mine. Okay, there's my other 10,000 right there. I just put another 10,000 Silica off video. If I have any other product that's worth a lot of money, like here, maybe I'll have 8 of those. If I have like 10 or like the uniforms, if I could just sell my uniforms, that's probably what I should do, is just maybe try to make uniforms for 20, 30 minutes. But I still have to sell something. So what I was talking about is if I sold a bunch of my mines, there's 7,500 each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 7,500 is 45,000. That's still only like 3 minutes. That's terrible. The nuke power plant is really the only thing, so I'm going to sacrifice it. So right now I'm going to remove the power plant. So you could kind of think of your power plant as your savings account, kind of your emergency funds. Okay, so now I've got my money again. You can do the math, but that'll probably last me. I'll have to get the calculator up. Okay, so I did the division, 2.4 million divided by the 12,545. That'll give me 196 minutes. So that's actually 3 hours of gameplay. Okay, so I sold that nuclear power plant. That gave me that much money. Minutes, which is about a little over 3 hours. So now I have time to fix my issue. So in that respect, you can almost think of the power plant as an emergency savings account, right? So now I've turned my auto sell back on and things should start selling. I'm still a little confused, or I just don't know the answer. Like, what order does it sell things in? Does it do it in the order you put it in the auto sale, or is it going to sell the highest priced items first? I'll have to ask that in the discussion forum. The other impacts are, now this is going to need more energy because it was getting energy before. So by removing that power plant, we're going to be slowing down this thing, these mines over here. This is going to need energy, so I might actually stop that guy right there. We have more than enough lumber because I had 80 lumber, but see, now we're down to 72 already. But that's probably okay. I could actually stop one of these sand mines, maybe. They're going to need a little bit of electricity, energy. And, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple sheep pens just to have some little bit of cash to keep things going, maybe. I'll do that off video. Now, let's talk about what caused this to happen. I use kind of like 2 different versions in a way. Versions isn't the right word. So either it was stupidity or oversight. When I went to my customizations here, I didn't have auto sell on for limestone and silica. And that was probably because before I always had enough. And what changed is, this is going to be a hard explanation, but I've mentioned this before. When I play on remote desktop, I'm getting 21 frames per second. And then when I let it run overnight, what I do is I close this. So I'm only using the remote desktop to allow me to video this because I'm using my video software, which is on another computer, right? And so I close out of here, and then I go to my gaming laptop, and then I open it over there, and I get like 50 or 60 frames per second. So at that rate, I don't know exactly how much faster the town is really running, but things do better, right? So maybe the silica was producing faster than I expected, and then all of a sudden it filled up. The other thing I've seen is if you play on 2 different computers or 2 different browsers, in the past, and I don't know if this has changed yet or they're going to change it in the future, they seem to be storing all this auto sell stuff like in a cookie. And a cookie is tied to your browser. So if you switch browsers or if you switch to another computer, you don't maintain all these settings. Now, to me, they should put it on the server side, and I don't know if they have a task to do that, or maybe they've already done that. I'd have to research that. Oh, that does say here, auto trade priorities traders that can carry the most. Auto trade prioritizes traders that can carry the most. I wonder what that actually means. How much is my mystical glue stuff? So this the light. This is the glue, I think. The glue. Oh, it's just normal glue. Oh, that died. This one doesn't tell you the sell price. I wish they'd add the sell price on here. So unfortunately, to know that, you got to go click on the truck, and both of my trucks are busy right now, so that's kind of not a nice thing. I added another feed trough here. This guy, I don't know if he's going to be green or not because he's touching. They're both close to like yes, he's yellow or not the fast speed because of the pottery factory that he's next to, but better than nothing. So I built another sheep pen right here next to the water and a little bit more, at least 1 square away from these water facilities. And now I can put a power plant over here. It's not the same as a nuke, but I do have enough money for that, so I'll get a power plant started. Just checking prices here. See, uniforms, 344,000. Ooh, I got a lot of this mystical, whatever it's called, mystical matter. That's going to bring in some money. So I need to put an auto sell on my mystical matter too. I never thought that would get over 10 or 12 at a time. See, my bikes are depending on the steel, which is taking a while to produce. So there's a couple auto sell settings I need to set. Let's go to set mystical matter and glue. Mystical matter. And let's lower that to say keep 5. Tune it later. And then the glue. Let's check what we have on uniforms. We need those for our blue steel, but let's say 3. And glue. Let's just keep, say, 2 or 3 of those. Every time I lose my connection, you know, you lose your whatever screen you're on. That's always been frustrating for me. I could sell iron for a while too. I forget what the sales price of that is. Looking over here, see this guy's going to need 10 energies. And looking at my inventory over here, it looks like I don't have a lot of batteries or energies right now. Here, yeah, I'm out of those. So before, I think what happened is because the warehouses were full. So temporarily, I'm going to turn, see this guy's got the Z's coming out of him. I'm going to make him craft energy. This nuclear power plant is also making energy as well and delivering the batteries to the warehouse. Here goes one now, see. So I'm going to need a little more energy for a while my game gets kind of back into shape here. So anyway, that's how you recover from a disaster like I had during the middle of the night. And I still think nuclear plants are the easiest thing probably to sell because you can always replace them with the power plant. And like you can see here, it gives me two hours or more, 2 or 3 hours basically to fix what's going on and to start making things right and maybe make a little more cash. Whatever you need to do, it gives you the time to do it. So that's my demo for what happened when things go bad in the night. Have a good week. I'll see you in the next video.